Kirsi, welcome to trunblock.com. Now, Anora's international division is relatively new. How exactly is it structured?
Thank you, Peter. Yes, it is quite exciting to actually be able to build a business from scratch. So in essence, international business unit is everything but our current monopoly markets, i.e. Finland, Sweden and Norway. So it's the other adjacent regional open markets, i.e. Denmark. It is Estonia and it is Latvia. It is then also the whole global travel retail or duty-free travel retail, if you like. And then everything else. We are currently exporting to approximately 30 markets, and then also the e-commerce. So those all areas consist of international for us in Anora.
Now, you echoed what Pekka said at the recent Capital Markets Day, that your target is to triple your business in the next 7 years, and that you expect international sales, of which travel retail is a part, to represent some 20% of total Anora turnover. Now, there are a number of questions here, and the first being, where do you actually expect to deliver that sort of exponential growth from?
Yes, tripling the business, it's a very exciting target, and the whole team is now geared behind it. It's a combination of organic growth of our current business, but also mergers and acquisitions. I mean, we are looking into various opportunities outside our current operations. And then out of the key elements where the growth is coming is partly from our existing markets, which is the Denmark, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania and Germany. Then secondly, we are creating this repeatable brand growth model with our sustainable hero brand Koskenkorva. And thirdly, it's coming from our enabler channels, which is global travel retail and e-commerce.
So what business model are you actually employing that will define what you do?
We closely follow our strategy that we recently launched, where we have defined quite clearly our key strategic pillars to say. So we want to lead the category growth across consumer occasions and channels in the Nordics. That's one thing. And then as far as the international part is concerned, we want to scale our position in Denmark and the Baltic markets to cement our regional leadership. And then thirdly, accelerate the growth beyond the Nordics with strong sustainable hero brands.
But I know that you're working to some pilot schemes, and there are 3 different waves or stages now in terms of your business development. Now, these take time, and often the sell to store timeline, especially in the travel retail marketplace, can be as long as a year. I mean, what evidence do you have that your repeatable model actually works?
Absolutely. The growth doesn't come overnight. Although we have already in the first year being international, we have already demonstrated some very promising results for that journey. But yes, it does take time. And the waves that you're referring to, which we talked about at the Capital Market Day, they refer to the creating the repeatable brand growth model. We get the evidence from the test, so it's more of a test and pilot form. So we are testing certain attributes as we now do in Germany. So we are testing our target segments. We are testing the creative messaging. We are testing media optimization. So how do we increase the brand awareness? We are testing e-commerce. We are testing different offline activations. So once we have tested and learned from that, then we will scale it big and take it to another market.
But you have to have a business model that is exceptionally agile, because it's horses for courses. Every single market you enter is different and requires fine-tuning and a high degree of personalization.
Absolutely. I mean, we are very careful. I mean, we do study our markets carefully, and that's part of the test model or the pilot model, which at the end of the test period should give us a sort of a structured playbook as to how to approach that particular market. I mean, as far as Koskenkorva brand is concerned, for example, I mean, the actual strategy or the platform won't change, but the angle that we look at the brand differs then from market to market.
You talked a short while back about the sensitivity of how you sell in your product line. And of course, Koskenkorva, it's a great brand, and it ticks all the boxes when it comes to sustainability. But are retailers, aside from Heinemann and Dufry, actually buying into the sustainability argument or just paying lip service to it? I mean, is there a cultural divide here?
No, it's a good question, and but they definitely are. They absolutely are. I recently attended a workshop of in the travel retail environment, and I mean it's definitely more than a lip service these days. Of course, then the response depends a little bit on the market. I mean, Nordic and European countries in general are more mature in terms of executing sustainability actions. And sustainability is already an essential part of many big customers and retail chains agenda. I mean, you're mentioning Heinemann there. I know that sustainability is very much in the agenda. And then what we have decided, we choose the angle that is relevant for each of our markets or channels for that matter. We have, for example, for Koskenkorva, we have zero waste campaigns in the sort of a more eastern part of Europe where maybe the sort of a packaging is not yet the most essential part of the sustainability. So we kind of balance it out a little bit depending on the maturity of the market in question.
Let's just pick up on packaging. Is this another area where Anora can take a further lead in the business?
Absolutely. However, I would say that we already have a clear lead on sustainable packaging in the Nordic markets, and we want to push our international distributors and customers to take a more courageous role in the packaging solutions. So I mean we all know that there are not that many PET bottles still at the airports, for example, but there is definitely more and more pressure on that as well, so that it's not only the one size fit all glass bottles, for example, even for the travel retail. But one of our roles is actually an educational role, because we have done a lot of research on different materials and their impact to the nature. So I think that we, as an operator, we also feel like we have an educational role towards our customers, and it's a journey, and it is a thing that we need to do together. It's very much of a collaboration, and we're ready for that. But as said, already now we are, I would say, a clear leader in the sustainable packaging here in the Nordic region.
Let's stay with travel retail. Koskenkorva is your flagship brand in a dynamic vodka category. Now, which of the others of your wide portfolio will you be promoting to the travel retail community? Will there be a smaller selection?
Well, Koskenkorva Vodka, yes, is the brand which has the strongest global potential, we believe. We have done tests, and we believe that that brand is the most ready for the world. In the Nordic and our global travel retail, however, we work with a strong and comprehensive portfolio of both own brands, but also strong international partner brands, which we represent in the Nordic region. But yes, moving outside the Nordic region, we have a sort of a smaller selection. But besides Koskenkorva, our focus is, for example, in Larsen Cognac, Skagerrak Gin, and then the full amazing aquavit portfolio with Linea as the main brand.
I talked about lead times with Pekka in the other interview, but there's also the entry cost of travel retail to be considered. I mean, are you as a company prepared to invest in order to gain share of mind as well as share of space?
Correct. I mean, global travel retail is an expensive channel to operate in. I mean, we both know that. But we really see travel retail as a strong enabler channel for brand building and supporting the sales growth, not only in the travel retail channel itself, but also supporting the domestic markets wherever we are operating. So therefore, there's even more to it. And this all, yes, needs investment. So we believe very much in gaining distribution, share of space, and share of voice in travel retail, which will support our growth in other Nordic and domestic markets as well.
Got it. Okay, one last question, Kirsi. I mean, if there was one, and I suspect there are more, messages that you want to communicate to the travel retail business right now, who are actually watching this video, what would it or they be?
Well, that's easy. We are dedicated. We are dedicated in being the forerunner in sustainability in every aspect of the business, whether it is the brands or any of the channels. So our company purpose, it's called Let's Drink Better. And that, I think, beautifully encapsulates our reason to be. So global travel retail is a clear growth enabler for us. We believe we have highly relevant brands, competence, and willingness to invest and support the channel and its operators.
A suitable note on which to end this conversation. Kirsi, Puntila, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Peter.